Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Here we are, section 6.6, and still with the pizza delivery guy. This time I wanted to look at finding percentiles for a normal curve. So before we were finding probabilities, and now we're looking at percentiles. A little bit different. So here's the question again. The pizza delivery guy's time is normally distributed with a mean of 20 minutes and a standard deviation of 4 minutes. And here's the extra challenge question that is tough. What is the 90th percentile of the delivery times? And then interpret this number. So, what is the 90th percentile? So here is our paint picture. Pretty paint picture. And here is the mean. Again, X is the delivery times. And the delivery times are normally distributed with a mean of 20 minutes and a standard deviation of 4 minutes. So here's the mean equals 20 minutes. And we're saying that we want to know the 90th percentile. So on your picture, imagine that there is some number. I'm trying to draw it for you that will be the best eyeball, because I'll just make a thing here. This is some number. We don't know what it is. It's a big question mark. For algebra purposes, I will write y. What is this number such that 90% is less than that number? I'll use red. 90%. All this right there is 0.90. That's what the 90th percentile is. So again, what we're saying is, what is this number y such that the probability that x is less than this number equals 0.90. Okay. So there's a couple of different ways to do these problems. Yes, one of the ways is using the z-table, and one of the ways is to use your calculator. So if we start with the z-table, I always cross my z's. I put a little X through them there, European style, so that they don't look like a 2, in case you're wondering. So we go to the z-table, and we want to find, so I'm going to make a little z picture. Let's pretend like this is a z curve. And that's 0, z. So what is the 90th percentile for the z curve? That's the first thing you want to do, is find the 90th percentile on z. So you go to your z-table, and we're looking inside the probabilities for 0.90. And you'll notice the probabilities are getting bigger, so they start here, 0.8. So you just keep following them up. Obviously, they're all in order until you get to 0.90, and it's roughly here. Okay, do you see how it's 0.8997 and 0.9015? So somewhere in between here is 0.90. So when I say you go backwards, I mean you look inside at this number right there, 0.8997, and then you go back and you say that corresponds to a z-score of 1.28. So there, do you see 1.2, and then you go up to get the second digit, 8. So we'll call that 1.28. Let's go back to the paint picture. So that is 1.28. You could have gone with 1.29. Either one will give you a close enough number. So what we're saying is we want to then find this number. We know on the z-table that corresponds to 1.28 on the z curve. So what we'll do is sort of like how we would find the score for a z-score. What did someone score on the test if they have a z-score of 3? So in this case, we let the z-score 1.28 equals that value, y. You subtract the mean, which is 20, and divide by the standard deviation of 4. So we're saying this number minus the mean divided by the standard deviation equals 1.28. So y minus 20 divided by 4 equals 1.28. So you multiply both sides across, you get 4 times 1.28 plus 20, that should be a plus, equals y. So that equals 25.28 if you do the math. Excuse me, 25.12. I have to write 1, 2. I'll say 1, 2 right there. Is y. So this equals approximately 25.1 1.12. And if you had done 1.29 on the z-table, if you decided to go with 1.29, which is 0.9015, which is almost 90%, you would have gotten something close. So it's not a big deal. Close enough. So again, you look up the number inside the z-table and then set that equal to your sort of question mark, your value that you're looking for, minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So the 90th percentile is 25.12 minutes. So what this is saying is that 90% of the pizzas are delivered in 25.12 minutes or less. So 95% are delivered in 25.12 minutes. You'll notice that's not 12 seconds because of the scaling, or less. So that's a pretty good deal if you're offering a free pizza at 30 minutes or less. So, how to do this on the calculator. On the calculator. So again, the 90th percentile is 25.12 minutes, and this means 90% of the pizzas are delivered in 25.12 minutes or less. That's what the interpretation means. Okay. How to do this on the calculator. You will like this if you have a calculator. It's so nice and tidy. Please, please try this on your calculator if you have gone to the trouble of buying one. So on your calculator, you turn it on. You go to second function and hit that vars button again. So it's second function. You're actually going for the distribution, but it's second function vars. And then you scroll down to this third option, which is I think it's inverse normal. Yep, inverse normal, and then you hit enter, and then you type in the percentile. So in this case it was 0.90, then the mean 20, so 0.90 comma 20, the mean, comma standard deviation 4, and then close the parentheses and hit enter. So again, percentile comma mean comma standard deviation, close the parentheses, hit enter, and the calculator just spits it right out. It's 25.126, which is the same thing we saw on our picture, 25.12. So the calculator is a very fast way to do it, but this picture is still what you're kind of the gist of what you're looking for. So that's an example of how to do a percentile question when you're dealing with a normal curve that is not standard normal.